Dan Illman, Matt Barton, race number 12 at Pimlico on Preakness Saturday is the $100,000 Sir Barton Stakes for 3-year-olds. You can play the race with a DRF Bets account. Of course, you can also bet the Preakness too with free cash. A $100 deposit match bonus is yours when you go to drf.com/bet. Let's take a look at the field for the Sir Barton because you might get a Belmont Stakes contender or two coming out of this race. We're at 1 mile and a 16th. Bob Baffert, Mike Smith, well represented with the morning line favorite, Matt. That's the number 8 Axeman who took the right step in the right direction with a 2-turn win last time out.
He's very impressive. You draw a line through that San Vicente where they went just unbelievably fast early. You're left with the 97 in the career debut and a 101 in his first time going 2 turns. I don't have much to knock about this horse. We're going to have to find out if he can handle a wet track against better horses, shipping across country, and potentially with another fast-paced scenario.
I think you named all the reasons why you can be against this horse at a relatively short price. Plus, he's stretching out a 16th of a mile again. He's never been 1 mile and a 16th. He's never been over a wet track. He's never faced this caliber of competition. He is very, very good, though. There is no doubt about that. The 2 is Pony Up, going out for Todd Pletcher and John Velasquez. This horse was briefly considered for the Preakness after a second in the Jeff Ruby Stakes, a rallying third in the Grade 3 Lexington. It bothers me that this horse doesn't seem to have a lot of early speed, and in a big field like this, that could be problematic with traffic and the like. But I like that Todd took the reasoned spot here, didn't throw him in against Justify in the Preakness.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a blessing in disguise for this horse, considering there's a lot of speed signed on in here. And like you say, don't go to the Preakness. Don't get over the top with this horse. Let him kind of come along at his own pace. He's going to be coming from well out of it, and I think there's going to be plenty on paper, early on anyway, to set up his late kick. I may not love him, but I think he fits well in here.
I agree. Let's take a look at the Timeform US pace projector because our friends at Timeform US, as we see often in these bigger fields, that red bar indicates a fast pace. They've got Axeman out there on the lead, and while Axeman certainly has the speed to make the front, if a horse like Navy Commander or California Knight decide to go, I'm sure that Smith would be just happy rating.
Absolutely. I think if you think you're on the best horse, you're not going to bother trying to get hooked up in anything crazy up front. Similar to what we talked about with Justify in the Preakness. If you think you're on the best horse, let him go. But at the same time, if you're fast enough and nobody else wants to go on with it.
Several of these horses are cross-entered in the James W. Murphy Stakes on the turf, race number 5 on Saturday. Of course, we've got a lot of wet weather. If the Murphy stays on the turf, I'm assuming that those horses are going to run in the Sir Barton. But if the Murphy is taken off the turf, the field could change drastically for the Sir Barton. Let's hope they stay on the turf. California Knight's one of the horses cross-entered. He's got some speed. The Bluegrass was just a tough spot, especially when he couldn't get near the front.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just draw a line through that. Use that run 2 starts back, more representative. At the same time, I don't know that he's good enough to step with these.
I think Forest Fire's got to be hustled hard from his inside post because we know he's got a little bit of early speed. Just missed last time out in the private terms at 1 mile and a 16th, but he has handled a wet track, and I think you've got to send from the inside. You don't want to get this muddy kickback.
No question about it. You got to hustle him out of there if you're Luis Saez. The problem is we brought it up. The other pace signed on, but you're right. He has that wet track fin in his back pocket.
I'm really worried about the 6. Dream Baby Dream, who, like the 2 Pony Up, is a closer, but I have a feeling Dream Baby Dream can stay a little bit closer to the pace. Second in the Sunland Derby, first time with blinkers. Last time out in the Arkansas Derby, if you recall, that pace really was not very fast. Dream Baby Dream was next to last early down towards the inside and sort of finished evenly in between horses. He's going to get a much better pace dynamic this time around. 8-1 might be value on Dream Baby Dream.
Well, especially if you think that Axeman is going to be up against it from a pace or the race shape dynamic, and if you don't love Pony Up or some of the other alternatives, maybe this is the horse that you ultimately land on for the reasons you made mention.
Title Ready was the pace setter in the Rebel 2 starts back. No match for subsequent Arkansas Derby winner Magnum Moon. Last time out in the Northern Spur, he kind of disappointed a little bit, and High North came back, and he kind of disappointed a little bit in the Peter Pan. I think Title Ready has some talent. I'm just not sure where he is from a form standpoint. He did beat Dream Baby Dream 3 back.
I agree 100%. I thought his Rebel was very good, and they've always talked about him like he's a good horse. But that Northern Spur right now, anyway, that looks like kind of a suspect race. I want to see what he does against these type of horses on Saturday.
Todd Pletcher also has the 10 Prince Lucky, a horse that did some nice things sprinting early on, and then they ran him in the Lecomte around 2 turns, and he had a tough post and a tough wide trip. So if you really don't want to hold that race against him, fine. Then he threw a fit in the gate, unseated Johnny V in the gate in the Sunland Derby and didn't run a step. I don't know what we're going to get. I guess the class relief helps. He's getting Javier, and he is listed as a gelding.
I was going to say maybe the gelding more so than anything kind of gets him to relax a little bit. But at the same time, I haven't been enamored by anything he's done throughout his racing career. And he feels like kind of a, I don't want to say a wise guy horse, but I could see a lot of people gravitating toward him.
Navy Commander had 2 blowout wins in a row at Parks. Then they tried the Hilton Memorial, a 2-turn 7-furlong race. And he ran okay. His Beyer speed figures are trending upward. But then you look at it and say, hey, his best Beyer's only an 80. He's got to run a lot faster.
He's not fast enough, and also the running style. He's going to be forward, and again, we've talked about it. There's plenty of speed in here. I think it works against his running style.
Whirlin' Curlin, 6th in the private turns last time out, going a mile and a 16th. Just seemed to go off form against Open Company after rallying to beat stake-bred sprinters back on December the 9th at a big price.
Yeah, you know, this is another horse. If you think that the pace is going to heat up, perhaps he can come sit a little bit, make one run. I don't know that he's good enough to win, but maybe he's one underneath that you could fool around with.
Take down a winner at a 1-turn mile, 2 starts back. It's blinkers here, and he has one on the lead in the past. I'm not sure they want to be too forward in here, but I think they want to be closer than in his last 2 races.
I agree. I don't think you want to be coming from 5, 6, 7 out of it, but you also don't want to be sitting a length and a half off of what should be a pretty honest pace. I think if you can work at that mid-pack trip, they'll be pleased. I still don't know if he's good enough, though.
Not worried about a wet track for the 4-3s over Deuces, who won his maiden over Good Going, but that was in a maiden claiming event. It looks like he's gotten into form. I think there are some class questions to address.
Yeah, he's decent enough from a talent standpoint. He's won over a wet racing surface, but again, from a class standpoint and from a fig standpoint, he needs to improve.
Axeman, the horse to beat. I got to use him in any kind of multiple race wager. Let's chop him down to size, though. From a win perspective, as we take a look at our top picks, we think Pletcher and Pony Up's going to get the pace they need, the class relief they need, and he's going to come running late to deny Axeman.
Yeah, I don't love this horse, but I just think this might be the right spot for him with the right pace scenario in front of him. Long term, I want Axeman, but in this spot here, I'm going 2-8-11. I also am going to be interested to see what we get from Title Ready, because we mentioned it. We think he's better than what he showed in that Northern Spur, but it's hard to ignore right now. The Northern Spur doesn't look very good.
I'm going to go 2-8-6, and I'm going to use those 3 in the multis. Pony Up, Axeman, and Dream Baby Dream. I don't want to sleep on this closer, especially if the pace is fast, at a nice price as he drops out of a paceless Arkansas Derby. Race 12 is the Sir Barton. You can bet it with a DRF Bets account. You can also bet a race called the Preakness, and you can bet the Preakness with free cash. A $100 deposit match bonus at drf.com/bet. An approximate post time for the Sir Barton. Perhaps a prep for the Belmont Stakes. 5:39 Eastern. Best of luck.